What up, is Marcus Dynasty Fun Dads? Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we're almost to 1,300, so let's get those subscribers up. We just need a couple more to 1,300 here. We are going to be doing the top deep sleepers at the quarterback position, which if you're in Superflex, this is the most important, because quarterbacks are the most important position in Superflex for Dynasty. So this is going to be an important video for you. ADP of 23, 34, and 38. So we have some quarterbacks that are deep, and then they get even way crazy. So let's start off right off the bat with Ryan Tannehill. He's 33 years old, and I look at his ADP of 23, and we're talking about one of the last quarterbacks taken as a QB too. But I mean, he was QB 21 in 12 games. He was QB 8, and he's been QB 12. I even look at Malik Willis. Let's just say that you get that top quarterback or a top like 6-7 quarterback, and you really have a hard time. Kirk Cousins and Carr and everybody just gets taken early, and you get stuck with a position where maybe you don't have that good quarterback too. I'm okay with taking Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis back to back or into those later rounds, because you're going to have ADP of 23 and 26. You take both of them, and you're going to have the starting quarterback likely for the Tennessee Titans for the foreseeable future. 2021, Ryan Tannehill had the most rushing yards in his career since 2014, the most rushing touchdowns in his entire career, tied with last year. And so this guy is continuing to run. And so that's something that we do have to note, that he actually can run, producing over than 200 yards. But Ryan Tannehill, I mean, we're looking at a guy who really sets himself at a per-game basis as a low-end QB1, a high-end QB2. But you're getting him for a discount at ADP 23. And again, you can back him up with Malik Willis at ADP of 26. And so Malik Willis, again, if he becomes a starter, his value, Malik Willis, will shoot way up. So I kind of like this combo here. And I've been taking this combo a lot into this middle to later part of the Superflex draft. Like when we're talking around 8, 9, 10, whatever you can kind of see that unfold here. I've seen Ryan Tannehill even go later than that. Let's go. Oh, and he only had 21. So people are like, oh my goodness, well, he had all these rushing touchdowns. And what happens if those touchdowns go down? Well, he only had 21 touchdowns passing in 2021 and 22 in 2019. So he's not a guy that has had a ton of passing touchdowns and has still produced at a low-end QB1, high-end QB2 level. So that just tells you. And what his weapons, still, Treylon Burks still is going to be Robert Woods. I shouldn't say still. It's going to be new, basically new weapons. But, I mean, you have that versus A.J. Brown. I would rather have Treylon Burks and Robert Woods versus the A.J. Brown production. And A.J. Brown, as we know, has struggled to stay on the field. And Julio Jones was basically non-existent. So, the second quarterback. One of my favorite quarterbacks right now, because I feel like his value is going to go up. And it's an ADP of 34, Baker Mayfield. And you might be saying to yourself, why Baker Mayfield? Well, first of all, he's 27 years old. He's in the prime of his career. He's had fantasy finishes of 16, 20, 17, 26. You're getting him at 34. You're getting him at a discount for a middle-of-the-road, yes, QB. And you say, well, why? Why? You know what? The Cleveland Browns will either Baker Mayfield will start as a Cleveland Brown and will play the entire year in pity, or not even in pity, in revengeance mode, or he's going to be moved on to a Carolina or a different team. And as soon as he goes to that ADP of 34 ends up going up to 26. And so you end up moving a bunch of different rounds, because Baker Mayfield's still young. He's had 92 touchdowns in 4 years. He's had 3K passing every single year. He's an okay quarterback at the NFL level. He still has that #1 overall pick attributes, talent-wise. So I think Baker Mayfield is a steal at ADP of 34. It doesn't make sense to me. You have other quarterbacks that are not even starting at this point, and you have a guy who I think is a starter at this level. If you told me Baker Mayfield or Mitch Trubisky, I want Baker Mayfield. Mitch Trubisky, yes, he's a starter, but he's a starter with Kenny Pickett breathing down his neck. Yes, Deshaun Watson's probably going to be the starter at Cleveland. We have still no idea with all the legal issues if that will actually happen in the 2022 season. Well, I don't know if we can hope. I don't know if people want to hope or not hope, whatever it is. The legal situation is what it is. But Baker Mayfield, ADP of 34. Let's just say this full season ends up being wiped out, or besides the 6 games, you're still going to have a 2023 season. Him somewhere else being a good, decent enough quarterback to give you the fantasy relevance of being a solid quarterback 3, but you're getting him at an ADP of 34, which is, I think, a steal. The last one, the least confident. We always go with the least confident right at the end here. He's 25 years old. He has an ADP of 38, and he's a starting quarterback. So, honestly, if you are a team that is struggling to find that QB3, let's say you're a team that has Dak and you have Kirk Cousins, but you need the QB3, then I would be easily taking both of these guys as backups, Baker and now we're going to mention him, Drew Lock. Yes, Drew Lock, he's had some issues. And you might be throwing up in your mouth right now, but I have 3 names for you. DK, Lockett, and Fant. 3 talented producers and 3 talented players around him. And yes, he had talents in Denver as well. But let's look at back in 2020. Let's throw the crystal ball back. In 13 games, he had a fantasy finish of 23. It wasn't amazing, but it was only in 13 games. He's 25 years old, and maybe a new regime actually produces better output. I mean, we've seen this before. Ryan Tannehill, actually previously mentioned, did struggle in Miami and went to Tennessee and became a better quarterback. Now, Drew Lock, again, he might be, again, a backup, but at ADP of 38, you are getting a QB4, which I think is a QB3 level. There's a chance that Drew Lock keeps this job for more than a year. There's a chance. I'm not saying it's great, but they passed on a bunch of quarterbacks in this draft, at least, to hold on to Drew Lock. And so that's why Drew Lock is one of my biggest buys. Again, if you're new to the channel, we're going to try to hit 2K here soon. So DeAndre Swift, free sign jersey, when we hit that, we're going to be giving it away to one of you guys. I am on for a long weekend away, so I will be back probably Monday at the soonest. We'll see how I'm doing. I have a country musical festival for the weekend, so hopefully Monday will work. But yeah, hopefully let me know what you guys want on the channel next. I got a bunch of different ideas, but let me know what you want. All right, peace out. Take care. Have a good weekend, guys.